Ewan slapped the papers on Jonathan's breakfast plate and paced the room. It was like waiting for exam results. He told himself it was just an idea, something for discussion, nothing to lose, except his dignity, self-respect, Sarah. He poured some coffee, drank it quickly, and paced. "I think we should sit down, Ewan, you're distracting me," Jonathan said, starting again at page 1. Jonathan's cheekbones were twitching. The teeth-grinding habit. Was that good or bad? Ewan wasn't sure, but he hoped Jonathan's teeth would crumble. Page 1? What was taking so long? Ewan straightened the chairs round the table, poured more coffee, and finally sat. His leg tapped. He gazed out the window, studied the paintings on the wall, kept an eye on Jonathan, and noticed that Miriam and Margaret were staring at him. He watched Jonathan pass the papers to Miriam. "So your point is?" Jonathan said. Ewan glared. Jonathan hadn't read a word. "We all work here," Ewan said quickly, emphatically. "Here?" Miriam said. "Yes, dig up the land, buy some animals, do it properly." Miriam's head was down, desperately scanning Ewan's notes. Margaret was peering at them over Miriam's shoulder. They were reading. He needed coffee. "You're talking about farming." Miriam sounded bewildered and less than enthusiastic. Ewan jumped up, unable to sit still any longer. It was obviously difficult to read. What was needed was an overview. It's simple. Just keep it simple, Ewan told himself. Tadley Hall, a self-sufficient community, only using Jonathan's money to buy the machinery and equipment needed to set it up. We've got to stop thinking that we've got millions. That you've got millions, Ewan corrected himself. It was a touchy subject. Nobody bothered. Good. Jonathan was listening, interested, seemed to be. Ewan started spewing words and ideas in no particular order, forgetting what he'd said as soon as he'd said it. A solid foundation, renewable infrastructure, an organic farm and alternative energy. Mention Dave. Dave could bore you rigid about solar power. He did me for years. Explain the freedom of a no-wage culture where everybody works for food, shelter, clothing, each other. Nobody works for money, the establishment or false status. And you could sell that hideous bloody Gainsborough for capital. Emphasise it's not Luddite, the latest technology. Mention Dave. Dave knows everything there is to know about alternative technology. Have I already mentioned Dave? And always too, but not Luddite. And books. There are a million books on a million subjects. And if university taught us nothing else, it taught us how to look things up in books. Learn to be labourers, do it yourself. No employment, no money, no uniform, no bosses. A proper community. What's yours is mine, what's mine is yours. Did I say self-sufficient? Did I mention the farm? Ewan rolled on and on and on and on and on until he was convinced it was a brilliant idea. Don't you think? Ewan stopped and stared at them, a sudden silence, nobody filling it. They just stared back. Don't you think?